we can't have you on without filming this. We got to do it. All right, you ready to go? All right. My favorite interview of the day just rolled in right here early on.
You say that every one, Roman.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to Sold Out Sports Talk on American Family Radio. With us right here, before I introduce this guy, it wasn't too long ago, he was part of the Rams movement, somebody that I got to know when he was in high school at El Dorado, watched him play when I was at the University of New Mexico. Jim Everett, former Los Angeles Rams quarterback with us. Jim, how are you, buddy?
Roman, it's always good to be back and see a fellow New Mexican.
That's right.
There's not many of us, but, we were talking earlier about, all the great athletes coming out of UNM, the Robin Coles, the Michael Cooper in the NBA.
Terrence Mathis.
Oh.
Had them all rolling out. Urlacher's here earlier today. And
anyways, it was a good time to be there. I thought their sports programs were really focused. Anyways, it's good to see. Always good to see,
me
Roman.
too. Well, listen. This is a special weekend. Your team's in it, the Los Angeles Rams, and I love saying Los Angeles Rams. I know you love hearing that said. This is just a great moment for the franchise, I think.
I think so, too. I mean, if we would have looked back at this and ain't number one saying Los Angeles has a team.
Right.
I mean, that was 2015. They did not have a team. 2016, they get a team. The guys are living out of hotels. It's chaos with Fisher. Then all of a sudden it settles down. They bring in McVay. They start bringing in different personnel. It's 2019, and we're talking possible Super Bowl champions, which I do predict they will be. But, I mean, that's a short amount of time to climb a mountain that we all know is pretty large.
Yes, and what's really interesting about it is you got a young head coach, a young quarterback who in Jared Goff, who reminds me a little bit of you, by the way. Tall, lanky, big delivery, and smart kid. Bottom line is he's very impressive, and he's matured very quickly.
He has. I mean, he's a sponge. And if all the stuff that Sean McVay is trying to run, the horizontal stretch, the vertical stretch, he gets it. And he's not one of these guys that has to carry a huge amount of pride. And I think a lot of people will get that confused with being egotistical. Jared's just a guy. I don't know if you saw that when he got picked by number one, what they did at Cal Berkeley, but there was a room full of people, an auditorium full of people going crazy. Jared's just that type of guy. And I'm not trying to prop him. I'm just telling you who he is because we don't know him because he's so young, but he's got a big following. He's dry-witted. I think of all the guys you want to get to know, it will be this guy, especially as he continues to be successful at his craft.
When you watch him play and when you look up close, especially this, when you go, how it is when you go. You played at New Orleans. When you go into that New Orleans Superdome for a playoff game like that, anytime it's a tough place to play. But for him to have responded down 13-0 and to respond the way he did is pretty impressive in your first playoff game, in a hostile environment.
Oh,
like
that first quarter, I felt for him. And we actually, sent discussions with Jared, but you're not going to be able to hear yourself think, and he couldn't. But he settled down. The whole offense did. I mean, they were down 13-0, could have been down 21-0.
Yes.
And I really believe that, at the end of the game, and this is, it didn't come down to one call. One call was obvious for sure. But the fact, if I was Sean Peyton, I'd be really upset too because I got my ass beat because I got out-coached.
Right. Well, that part too, plus they're a team that had been great inside the 20.
Yeah.
And in a playoff game when you're down there twice where you can put somebody away and you come away with 6, that's rough.
Oh, and also you're putting Tyson Hill as quarterback for your
that's
end zone.
Not a good idea either.
I don't think I take – in my opinion, I don't take Drew Brees, who's a fellow Purdue guy like myself. I don't take him off the field. I just don't. I couldn't get that.
It's really interesting time in the NFL, Jim, for quarterbacks because you can play longer because of the rules. The rules, they're protecting the quarterback in a way, where Tom Brady can play to 41. Plus, he gets rid of the ball so quick, very difficult anyways. But you got guys like Drew Brees, our man from North Carolina State over at San Diego, Rivers. You got Tom Brady, and then you got Patrick Mahomes and Watson and Goff, and it's like a collision of today's greats and future greats. We saw it in the playoff game with the Chiefs and the Patriots. So talk to me about where we are at the quarterback position right now.
I think there was a point in time, especially when Peyton Manning was coming and there's Tom Brady, we're like, who's going to be the young quarterbacks coming up? And, Aaron Rodgers is middle-aged. He's one, but, everyone was wondering who the next great one was going to be. Well, it came in a bushel. There's no doubt that when you talk about Wentz, you talk about Goff, you talk about Mahomes, you talk about Watson, Dak Prescott's in the conversation. The quarterback position is in good hands. The offense is what I like to see. The offenses are evolving, and as far as if you're talking about NFL, you're talking about NFL 3.01, and next year's going to be 3.401. I mean, it's evolving. The whole jet sweep, all this stuff that we're coming in, the pressure on the linebackers for play action,
RPOs, and
I love it. I mean, it's putting so much pressure. You're seeing 30 points a game.
Jim Everett's with us, Los Angeles Rams quarterback, living out in L.A. And Jim, one of the things about the NFL today, which is interesting to me, has been the maturation of the training of a quarterback. We had, I believe it was Carson Palmer's brother in here the other day, who was in the league for a while, and now he's coaching quarterbacks. He's got quite a list of quarterbacks. And he was talking about what he's doing with junior high and high school quarterbacks. And when he started talking about the regimen and started talking about how early these guys are learning the game and the fundamentals, I think about back when we played, what we did in high school, which is basically just do our best, right? I mean, then even when we got to college, I can remember our quarterback coach in spring, hey, you guys get on we're going to put a net between the goalposts and we're going to put dots on them. We're going to get on the hashes and we're going to throw 300 balls. Yeah. Tell me about when you came up, what you had as opposed to these guys like Patrick Mahomes and Watson, and the kind of coaching and the kind of mental preparation they're getting at an early age. It's unimaginable compared to when we played.
It is.
Right?
We didn't have the quarterback whisperer. I mean,
we had the quarterback yeller.
Yeah. No, but our off season had to be like go get on the basketball team or go play on the golf team or whatever it might be. But how I lettered in 4 sports.
Yeah.
So, but nowadays there's so much pressure put on the system, what they're running, what they're doing. And if this kid isn't going to do it, this other one's going to do it. And if that one's not going to do it, the other one's going to transfer in from the other high school to do it. So yeah, there's a lot more pressure going back down to, I see it to 12, 13, 14-year-old kids. I just want to make sure that, with this specialization that, if a kid is 14 years old and throwing those 300 balls, by the time he's 30 years old, how's that arm doing? I mean, I know we throw the ball a lot.
And when you played the 4 sports, you had the time off where these baseball kids are traveling the summer, they're playing fall ball, they're doing all that stuff.
By the 18, their arm's hanging off by one ligament.
I was going to tell you, though, as much as this is specialized, I really appreciate the time we were in. Because I think I enjoyed it more playing all the sports. I loved it. And football became my favorite because I loved baseball at a time just as much. But, you got a chance to enjoy all the sports. And then when you decided, hey, you know what, I think football is what I really want to do, I didn't do that until I was a senior.
Well, I think it's like social media and everything else. Everything's sped up, especially for the generation. I mean, they're exposed to more things and I have to make decisions earlier. I know my daughter's going through the same thing for volleyball right now. She had to make a decision before she was even 13. Am I going soccer or going volleyball? Well, can't you do both? No, Dad.
Wow.
I mean, so that's where it gets. I see it. By college, you have to pretty much, or by high school, you have to pretty much dedicate your sport. We didn't have that in our age, and so it's just a different era. And hopefully, it'll all work out. They'll have other things. Maybe there's social media that they'll do for fun.
Okay,
but
so
it won't be another sport.
We'd be remiss with the Rams and Patriots not to talk a little bit about Tom Brady, because I was with his agent a couple of days ago, and I just picked his brain because he's been with him 21 years. I mean, I'm fascinated by Brady at 41 doing what he's doing.
Right.
And I asked him, I said, Don, what is it about Tom that you have seen in 20 years that makes him so different? He said his expectations for himself are off the charts every single day. And he pointed out, he said, every single day, no matter what day it is, no matter what time it is, this guy is somebody. And I had Merrill Hodge tell me, he was here early, he said, some guys can do it 6 months a year, some guys can do it 8 months, some guys can do it every other week. But this guy does it every single day, 365. He has such a passion for the game, a respect for the game, and he loves the game. And I thought, man, that's old school, right, Jim?
That is old school, but you also realize he was competing against a guy named Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Now, Peyton Manning was one of the first guys I've ever seen to raise the bar that high. Now, I knew Peyton down in New Orleans. He came out on the practice field with us in New Orleans, and we were making him throw the ball around when he was a high schooler, you know.
Wow.
But he was all into, you know, the game, wanting to know more. I mean, you just, God builds people certain ways, and he's built Tom Brady a certain way, Peyton Manning a certain way, and they're in their right craft. And that's why I would encourage any kid to do it. Playing quarterback might not be your deal, but whatever it is, God built you to do something and be the best at it.
But what we're talking about with those guys is it doesn't matter what you do in life, those are habits. Those are developed discipline habits and intentional habits and a passion for something that just says, I'm going to be the best.
Right, and they want to do it. It comes
Exactly,
from inside.
exactly.
It's not like, parent telling you or some say you better do this or you're going to get an F. This is something like, I need this. I
Jim,
want it comes from
seen,
inside.
have you ever seen a guy, though, that in the biggest moments seems to be the best all the time?
I tell you what, I think we're looking at a special guy. I mean, Tom Brady's special, and I think that there's no doubt he's raised the level. You think Joe Montana back in the day?
Sure,
You think Terry Bradshaw? Well, you got to think, Tom Brady. I mean, been with the same system 17 years, same head coach. I mean, it's rare.
But from being an NFL guy that's been in it, how hard is it in this day and time with free agency that was made for last to come to first in 1 year?
Yeah.
How hard is it to do what they've done in this era?
It's so hard. I mean, to keep the talent level, to be able to take, Crabette out and put in Edelman to do, all these pieces and keep operate like it's nothing. It's amazing. A tribute to Tom and to the coaching staff, but his dedication to know, hey, this is where we can win. And he knows it. I don't think so.
Okay.
That's my
Final
opinion.
question to you. I just want to know this for the LA fans because they're going to see this. Biggest moment of your career with Los Angeles?
Oh, gosh.
Greatest memory for you?
I had so many. I mean, I could go back to the record-setting time with Flipper Anderson down in New Orleans where he still has the, record. But I would say if it's one play, it was probably be in New York. I always loved to play against the Giants and
what a great
overtime in a playoff game, and Flipper catches the ball and goes to the end zone, and the crowd's silent. If I had to say one play, that would probably be it. But there's so many good moments.
Jim, I tell you what, Los Angeles fans love you. It's so great to be with you at the Super Bowl and have the opportunity to talk football and just talk about life. Appreciate you so much coming in on Sold Out.
Well, Roman, it's thanks for being here, and I am so happy the Rams are here.
And they're great.
And they get a chance to, play the Patriots for a little revenge match. So it'll be interesting.
Do me a favor, look at that camera, say hi to the Rams fans out there. We're going to show it to them.
All right. Hey, all the Los Angeles Rams fans, how you doing? Love you from Atlanta, here with Roman, and we're having a fantastic time, and we're going to go get that win.
When we come back, more on Sold Out Sports Talk on American Family Radio.